Hey, what's up, everybody? Christy Keenan here for SuperLobby.com. Got a little special treat for you this week, an interview with Joey Levy, who is the CEO of a brand new, really exciting site that we're just incorporating into the SuperLobby right now. That's Draftpot.com. Joey, how are you?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
You're very welcome. Joey, you're 20 years old, you're at Columbia University, and suddenly you end up as the CEO of an innovative DFS operator. How does that even happen? Talk me through the backstory a little bit.
So I developed Draftpot from my dorm room and my two co-founders' dorm rooms out of necessity. Really, there wasn't a daily fantasy product out there that we felt catered to both hardcore high volume users as well as casual sports fans who wanted to get their feet wet in daily fantasy as well. So we developed what is becoming a very innovative but something that people really like, a no salary cap format for our lineup selection process. And that really is a core differentiator, but there's several other ways in which we differentiate ourselves, particularly by offering a lower rake, by offering the largest deposit bonuses in the industry, and by offering more sports than our competitors. We have 9 sports. We're launching a couple more within the next few months. And as far as getting it started, it was really just seeing the need for it and being very passionate about daily fantasy and wanting to give users a great product that they would really enjoy using.
And that's fantastic. So, yourself and your co founders, all at university together, all going through this journey from the same starting point. Why don't you talk us through the team that you've got in the background there at Draftpot?
Sure. So there's myself, I'm the CEO, my two co-founders, one's the CTO, one's the lead developer. They're both superstar software developers who are able to develop products very quickly and efficiently. Then we also have a COO, we have 2 business development people, we have 2 other developers, and we have a data scientist. So we're staffed with people who are really smart, who know what they're doing, and are very passionate about giving users a product that they really enjoy using. And we feel like we're already making great progress with the product. We feel like the existing product right now is already better than the vast majority of what's out there. Certainly from a monetary perspective, there's not very many sites other than the big 2 that are offering consistent 6-figure GPPs, which we are. So the product is beautiful, it's robust, it provides users a great experience, but there's also an opportunity to win a lot of money on Draftpot. So we feel like combining all of these things will make us successful and make our users successful.
Fantastic. So, you kind of touched on it a little bit there. So some people might say, hey, you know what, we can't compete with the deep pockets of DraftKings, FanDuel. And then, of course, there's a Maya and Yahoo, as well as a host of other operators really coming to the fore right now. Why are you confident that Draftpot can find a user base in what seems like saturated marketplace right now?
Yeah, the market's undoubtedly getting more saturated by the minute, and that's obviously a concern for anybody trying to enter the marketplace. But we're going in with the assumption that there's going to ultimately be 5 to 6 major players in the space, which we feel like there will be if this is eventually going to be like a $20 billion industry, as many experts are projecting it to be. There's not just going to be 2 big companies. Furthermore, those 2 big companies don't really do a particularly good job distinguishing themselves from one another. I want to preface that by saying that they're doing an amazing job really building the industry for
Of course.
companies like Draftpot. But between the 2 of them, they offer the same salary cap game. People are relatively agnostic with respect to both sites. It's not like you'll hear somebody say, I'll only play on FanDuel and never play on DraftKings. Most people will say, I'll put my lineup into FanDuel and then put another lineup into DraftKings. So there's really an opportunity to fundamentally differentiate the product, which is what we're doing, while still offering tremendously large GPPs, which ours are 6 figures now. Hopefully they'll be 7 figures soon enough. And we just feel like we're a team that's really smart. We're really efficient. We really care about our users. We have some of the best, arguably the best customer support in the industry, the best deposit bonus in the industry. So we feel like we're smaller, but we can do a better job of providing users a great product where they could win a lot of money.
I love it. So you briefly touched upon it earlier with the no salary cap mention, but tell us, really explain to me what is the secret sauce that differentiates Draftpot?
Um, I mean, the no salary cap format is really, really innovative. People initially don't understand it. They're like, oh, no salary cap, how does this work? There's no strategy. But we have a lot of high volume users emailing us saying, I gave you guys a shot week one, and it turns out that this no salary cap format arguably has more strategy to it than a salary cap format. Because under a salary cap format, you're really just looking for value players according to whatever salaries are prescribed to players that particular week by site operators. Whereas with a no salary cap format, it's really all out in the open. You have to determine how contrarian you want to be, or if you don't want to be contrarian at all, just go with really safe plays. Obviously, the type of tournament you're participating in is something that you have to consider, whether you're in a double up or if you're in a GPP. So there's a lot of considerations with our format that make it more accessible to casual players, but also make it more interesting for high volume players. And also for high volume players, it's in the best interest of them to have more casual players on the platform, because it means we can support larger GPPs because we have more users. So that's really the secret sauce. I think also, I would say from a business standpoint and also from a strategic standpoint moving forward, the biggest thing is that we are developers. So we're able to develop products very quickly and efficiently. We're able to iterate and respond to user feedback immediately, which is not something that the two big sites have been able to do and not something that other startups have been able to do. But we're able to do it because we are the ones developing the product. We're not outsourcing this to some firm and crossing our fingers that the site will go well. We're doing this ourselves, and we take our users' feedback and we adjust the product accordingly. And we think there's a lot of room for growth because of our ability to do that.
Yeah, that's really fascinating actually, because something that often doesn't get mentioned with the relatively small size in terms of staff base is that you guys are incredibly agile. You're developing and adding new sports all the time. And I hear that you're planning on taking Draftpot into the UK.
Yeah, that's right. We've already started the process for filing a gambling license in the UK. We feel like there's a really good market there of people interested in fantasy sports, particularly not, I mean, not just for NFL, because there is a great market out there for NFL, but also for, sports that we don't have right now, like soccer,
Sure.
or European football. And we'll be developing products for our UK users, and we'll also be expanding to other parts of Europe and possibly Asia, and we're looking forward to it.
Fantastic. Right, finally, Joey, I want to thank you for your time. Is there anything further that you'd like to mention to our viewers and listeners?
I think the one thing from a monetary standpoint that people would be really interested right now is that because we're a new site, there's a lot of overlay on our site to take advantage of. We have made a significant investment into overlay because we feel like overlay is a very efficient vehicle for user acquisition. So from a business standpoint, it's not like we're stumbling into the industry and coming in with all this overlay and just operating until we run out of money. We have a very set plan, and overlay is a part of the plan. We anticipate overlay. We want overlay to happen. We're intentionally having overlay happen because it gets people on the site, and our earliest players will take advantage of it. So if you're listening to this or viewing this right now, I would suggest you go to Draftpot because we're intentionally giving you overlay because we want you to be introduced to our platform. So that's the one big thing right now. I would also just mention that we do have six-figure GPPs, which is far above what any other startup is able to offer. We have lower rakes than our competitors. They top out at 10%. They're usually around 8%. We have an exclusive for SuperLobby users, 100% deposit bonus up to $1,500 at an 8% release rate, which is double the speed of what other sites will offer you. So it's not sort of like a scam where you have to wait, 2
you'll be
years
playing
for you
10
to realize
years
the
to,
entirety
yeah.
of your bonus. If you play, you'll realize your bonus very quickly on Draftpot. We mean what we say when we're giving you a deposit bonus. There's not a lot of fine print that's going to make it difficult for you to realize that bonus. And then finally, we're able to constantly improve the product. So if you do become a Draftpot user, which we hope you do, please never hesitate to reach out to contact@draftpot.com with any feedback you have. We'll take it very seriously, and it's very likely that within a couple of weeks, the product will reflect your feedback.
That is fantastic. And of course, just for you guys at home right now, Joey's mentioning this enormous overlay that Draftpot seem to always have running right now, which is part of their strategy. You can stay abreast of that using SuperLobby Premium. We've set up alerts so that you can get emailed directly when the biggest overlay is occurring. So some great sort of complementary strategy there between SuperLobby and Draftpot. It seems crazy to me to not be taking advantage of that right now. Joey Levy, CEO of Draftpot.com, an absolute pleasure talking to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me on.